access to tools for the deep masses. In the electro framework of string theory, 6 extra dimensions are said to be compacted by other 3 spatial dimensions are not. Time is also considered as an extra dimension. While it might sound strange to trivialize string theory to require to exit space-time dimensions, and simple string theory to require to exit space-time dimensions in order to be consistent. These 2 numbers already inferred and common often with other tetragrammaton tetractors. What is more amazing is how the clear BL manifold with really flatness string theories choose resembles the 2-headed clock. A god of duality, like harmony and chaos, or possibly rather a middle world which is separated from being united together. In quantum physics, there is wave-particle duality.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Who was first today? Stereo Decor, hey hey. Camel P, aka The Influence, what's up? James Lowe, first time here. Welcome. What's this all about? We're just gonna hang out and make music, that's all. Angel Lannis. Glad to have you, as usual. Surflow Sama. Hello, people of the noise. Yes, I think a lot of us appreciate some noise. Zap is here. Jaja 9000. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Aaron Hedges. Yes, Camel P. Electro today. That's what this is about. Hello, Amebe. Amobe? Amobe? How do I say that? Nice. I'm gonna listen to this 303 squiggle around for a little bit. All right. And Josh Holiday. Really, I said it right the first time, accidentally. Good, I'll try to keep doing that. All right. Let's get into it. Let's dive right in. Why am I hesitating? Because I'm grooving with this. That's why. Oh, it's Funk Door. Hey. All right. Enough chit chat. Actually, no. I'm going to keep chit-chatting for a little while now. Let's bring it in. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Selway here, Selway Techno and Electro Saturdays. Today is an Electro Saturday. Wearing my 343 hat, as if there weren't enough logos. Hope everybody's good. I'm here, as usual, in the content studio at 343 Labs in New York City. And of course, you know we also have our Berlin location. It is really well overdue that I get over there. I haven't been traveling well, no, that's not true. I have been traveling, but I haven't been to Berlin since pre-pandemic days. One of my last pretty dope DJ gigs was the last time I was there. Max Wild, if you're watching, let's work that out one of these days when we can and make that happen. I would love to do something over there at our location in Berlin at Riverside Studios. That'd be cool. We could do like a remote We could do a Techno Saturday, Electro Saturday Berlin edition live stream or masterclass or something. That'd be fun. Right. You know, we are a school and we teach and we have courses and we have our 1-year program and we have all of our events we do all the time. And you also know that there's a description below with links in it. So if there's anything else you want to know, details, what kind of classes are we running, what's coming up for our events. We just had Economist do a really good free masterclass the other day. Nice guy, really good presentation. And yeah, we do things like that. We have artists visiting. And I don't know, I have guests on my show sometimes too. Been thinking about that. Who do I want to bring back next? Or what new person should I cold call to get on the show with me? Of course, our friend Angel Alanis here in the chat has been a guest a couple of times now, a few times along with Maria. And that's always a pleasure. You'll have to come back again one of these times. Think about what you're going to do, Angel. How are you going to wow the crowd next time you're on the show? Let's see. What are you guys all talking about here? Gaz CBM is here. Hey, hey. Karsten Becker's back. Welcome. So Surflow Sam is asking if there's a way to get a 343 cap. You know, we have swag like this. Generally, it's for the employees and then sometimes for our students. So honestly, barring some change that I don't know about, I don't think you can buy these online yet. But the best way to get a 343 hat or a t-shirt or a sweatshirt would be to sign up for our program here. All our 1-year students get all sorts, the ones that do everything. They do the whole shebang. They get swag. They get stuff like tote bags and t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats and all of that. So right now, that's pretty much the only way. Or you get a job. You get a job here, you can have a hat. But yeah, maybe we will sell them at some point. That's a good idea. Max Wild, are you listening? Let's sell some merch. All right. Camel B is saying I should get Robert Armani or Steve Poindexter. And Ellery Cowles, you're pulling out the deep names. That's good. Angel, you know those guys? Angel Alanis, he's in Chicago. He's an OG. He knows people. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, Lego Velt. That's another suggestion from Jada 9000. I don't have a connection to him. I'd have to get through some. I'd have to find out who to ask and see if he's willing. I know he would be a really fun guest. He's a funny, smart guy. Cool. Anyway, Angel says he's going to do magic tricks. Yeah, that's a highlighted comment. Angel's going to do magic tricks. That's what we're doing today. We're doing electro magic. Submerge was on once. I did a show with Joe Hyperactive and Hiroko and Submerge. They were all on the show with me. It was like DJ with beers, but with no beer. Unfortunately. All right. Jaja 9000. Andy Barton has also been on the show. Good call. I'll have him back. He did it actually a few years ago. He interviewed me for Bass Agenda. So yeah, nice little reciprocation there. I'd love to have him back. Actually, any of the artists that he knows or works with, any of those electro guys would be great. Anyway, speaking of electro, welcome Data Rebel. Speaking of electro, a couple weeks ago, I started a new track experimenting with these random plugins. You remember those? These crazy random and random metal, which are really awesome, really crazy and really awesome. And so I decided to pick up again with that. I worked on it just a touch in between that, 2 weeks ago and today. And so there's a couple new things here to play with. And I'm going to think, that was a good way to get a track started, a new idea started, just like looking for some new sounds and to see what direction it took. And today I'm just going to keep working on it. Not specifically about any technique or new plugin or whatever, but I'm just going to work on the parts and see what happens next. That's it. Straight up. making some beats. All right. Angel's pulling out Dave Clark. You're bigger names are harder to get, but I will ask. I'll, maybe like, he just did an interview with Adam X. You guys been seeing that, by the way? Adam X has his podcast, Sonic Groove Podcast. He's been interviewing all these old heads, like guys that have been around forever that are like legends of techno. That's been fun. Some of them I've met and some of them I never got to meet. And so it's good to kind of hear from them and talking to someone that I know. It's cool. But yeah, I like that he's doing that. Actually, maybe I should have Adam come on, right? He's doing all these interviews of other people. I can interview him. Maybe he'll be up for that. Cool. All right. So anyway, music, right? That's why we're here. And I've got this thing going on. Let's just like refresh our ears a little bit. Ooh. All right, there's a new kind of bass element that I added in there. This is still raw, this is still rough. We're still building it up. All right. That crazy delay. Got a little clapper there, got a little percussion there, I've got another layer I added, the snare on top to give it more of a sort of sharpness and ringiness. And then kind of a metallic clap sound. That's a random metal sound. So yeah, this is what we were playing around with a couple weeks ago, this insanity. This kind of crazy, I don't know what is going on. If AI, algorithmic, physical modeling, I don't know what they're doing here. Whatever new synth sound design buzzword is happening here. We got some hi-hats. Every time I stop, I have to wait for the echo on the kick drum to go away. It's annoying. Maybe I should put a gate on that so it shuts up when I stop. That hi-hat's also from Random Metal. All right, so far I'm grooving. I was also playing around with this Tele. This is another new favorite plugin of mine to add a sort of a lead element. And actually, when I first threw this in there, I just used the default sound. I didn't do anything to it. But I added some noise into it. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that for a second. That's what it sounds like without the noise. So simple. But then just using the LFO on this density of this noise elements. It gets more metallic. And not random, but it changes depending on where you are in the cycle of that LFO. All right, what else we got going on here? Now, I was originally playing around with this sound and kind of do this brutal, resonant, subby, I don't know what it was. I decided I don't like it anymore. I was listening to it in headphones and on some other speakers, and I was like, no, that's muddy. All right, that was just, this is where I started, but I'm going to leave that. And I ended up deciding to stick with this one. And that's another, that's random. And it's a little sharper and more percussive. And if I move this blob around, it does all sorts of crazy things. But I think I like it when it's just sort of more sharp and percussive and not the main bass, but more of kind of like a mid-rangey percussive layer. If I move this, it's going to get messed up. But let's see what happens. That sounds okay too. I want to tighten it up though. It's too loud. Right, so it's one of the things I noticed that it's a little bit hard to control the precision of the sound in here with the envelope. I mean, it works, but like if I wanted it to tighten up a little bit more, I was finding it a little bit hard to do. So I ended up putting a filter on there and controlling that filter with a Max for Live MIDI envelope to be more like that. That sounds pretty cool, but I also liked it. Wherever it was, I've lost it. Somewhere down here. See, I knew I would mess it up. I knew I would mess it up if I moved that around. All right, I'm curious. I'm gonna see what happens if I reopen this, if it goes back to where I saved it, and see if I can get that sound back. It'll be interesting. Will this plugin resubstantiate correctly? Let's find out. No. What just happened? It's okay. It's close. I'll fix it. I also like that this call and response thing I was doing with the reverb is echoing. There's a delay, you know. That is nasty. I think that's why I like it. This is kind of dirty and nasty and flappy. Oh, you lost the audio. Criminy. There you go. All right, how dare I? Is it better now? Besser. Jawohl. Ja. I don't know how to speak German. Shut up. Okay, what else have we got? I'm just going through these parts to remind myself of what's happening. I added a sample of someone going, ah. I like that. I like these kind of resonant, formant noise sounds. I've used those in my tracks, my electro tracks before. And then I added kind of a more simple, growly, subbier layer under the bass. So what would that sound like altogether? I'm down with this. Dark and dirty. Weird electro. You know I've done this before. What's up, Acid Bat? Interesting question. Interesting question here in the chat. Do you see electro as fundamentally hip-hop? We were listening to some of the history of hip-hop the other day, and the early hip-hop pre-sampler was basically electro and rap. Yes, there's a connection. Absolutely. Someone recently, oh my God, my brain. His name will come to me. Kirk DeGiorgio recently put together like a history of electro playlist or radio show or something like that. And it has all of that stuff you're talking about. It's like the early 80s electro funk, early hip hop. Absolutely there's a connection. I mean, I think, you know, there was Kraftwerk before, right? And that influenced everybody. along with other things, but a lot of Kraftwerk, right? And you had Planet Rock, you had Africa Bambaataa and Arthur Baker in the producing in the studio, and that's kind of like ground zero in a way, right? It's like, artists that weren't Kraftwerk in making music influenced by Kraftwerk and other kind of, funk and other beats and drum machines and synthetic sounds. But I think, yeah, absolutely. Early hip hop and electro were tight. It's evolved from there, right? Not all, you can't say a lot of the modern electro we hear nowadays sounds like hip hop. It's hip hop went in another direction, rap music went in another direction. But, Missy Elliott's beats sampled Cybertron, right? They're still connected, right? Electro is still an element that is influencing other genres. So, yeah, that's an interesting thing. That's a good thing to point out. I appreciate that question. Wow, Camel P even is saying hip hop would not exist without Kraftwerk. Now, I'm not sure that's true because, there was already like, who was it in the Bronx? Was it Kool Herc? Original hip hop DJs in the 70s playing break beats from vinyl, cutting back and forth between the breaks on the records. That was happening independently of or at the same time as Kraftwerk was happening. So no, I think hip hop culture existed pre Kraftwerk. That is absolutely safe to say. And that Kraftwerk became an influence on hip hop culture. Okay. I am obviously not the ultimate decider of the history, but that's what I understand. I think I'm thinking on the right lines there. Cool. Yeah, Acid Bat, he's mentioning reggae, Jamaican sound system culture, the MCs that would toast along with the DJs in Jamaica. Yep, there you go. That's where it comes from. Nice one. Okay, back to my take on electro. Back to the music. I think I want to tone down that lead a little bit. Like I added that bright metallic thing going on, but it gets a little bit loud. So yeah, we're going to reduce that a little bit. There you go. And that kind of reverse gated reverb effect that's doing a call and response with the bass, it's a little muddy. Might need to tone that down. I also might just leave it off. Also, this sound it's cool, but it's very, very dry. I need to think about how I'm going to process that. Anyway, that's where I was at. And then today, all right, I added this kind of more deep, simple, kind of sawtoothy, distorted bass underneath. And then I wanted to do a little bit more kind of melodic or lead elements. Let's clear this comment out of the way here. So I brought out Synthplant. Yeah, I was going to play around with Synthplant last week with some of the AI kind of analyzing and recreating your sounds. But I actually just decided to start going through the presets and playing around with them. And I came up with this. Let's actually cut the other melody and the bass out of there for a second. I like that. So this is just a tweaked preset. I was playing around with these branches. That sounds cool. It's playing around with the atonality, kind of detuning the voices apart. That's how we ended up where I was. And we got the release to play around with. drop that down an octave? Because sometimes it gets a little too bright. I have no idea what's happening when I move this thing. But, you know, this whole concept of Symplant, I mean, aside from the whole AI thing, this original concept of having each note be like a different kind of branch that's growing, and then they move and interact with each other, and then like the sounds kind of modulate each other. It's really sick. And I like playing with it. I haven't played around with this plugin in a long time. All right, so I've got that to play with. I was thinking about, you know, whether I automate this or if I should just like play around with the parameters and record it to audio. That's actually something that the Economist was talking about in his masterclass the other day. Is, you know, he mainly works with hardware, but you know, he retracts all that, and then he just jams and just plays like too long, and just does a million different variations of playing around with the synths, and then he goes back in there and chops it all up. So that's, you know, he reminded everybody is you can still do that even if you're all plugins. You can commit to audio and you can just play around with audio. And you'll do stuff just tweaking the knobs that you would never do automating it, like one breakpoint at a time, right? So, yeah, maybe we'll capture some audio from Symplant. All right. Metaphase is asking what the MIDI notes look like on Symplant. It's really simple. It's just that. It sounds way more complex than it is, right? This is just 3 notes, D sharp, E, F. We're not hearing those notes though, because of the atonality and what else is going on with the sound. And then also, you know, with these branches, that's totally detuning those notes away from the scale that you're actually playing. See, I broke the sound now. You see how when I bring that E, when I bring it farther out, that branch waggles back and forth more and interacts with the other sounds and modulates those. The only thing it does, I wish it didn't do, is like when you click on that, it plays the note. So you have to hear that. If you wanted to go in and automate things more in a detailed way, you go in here. I'm not trying to do a tutorial about Symplant, but yeah, this is where all the DNA is. This is where all the crazy stuff is happening. And I think mainly what we were hearing is like frequency modulation, like audio rate modulation, increasing and decreasing, or adding noise or taking away noise, that kind of stuff. Like screaming at me. That's really loud. Oh yeah, and then I have this guy, which I totally forgot about. That was a sound generated from the random plugin. Okay, I probably should start like arranging this. One last thing I was gonna do is do some kind of outer space pads. For like an intro or break. I don't know, that's a thing. Lately, when I make electro, I just really like it being really spacey and really kind of dark and driving, but at the same time, I have these atmospheric kind of melodic things going on. What are y'all talking about? What's happening in the chat? Christian Saxo, welcome. Synth Plant is amazing, especially for electro stuff because of mutation possibilities. Yeah, it is endless possibilities. Agreed. Peter T is asking about the Economist Masterclass. It's actually it's on YouTube. It's not posted yet. Like it was broadcast live for people that RSVP'd. I actually I'm talking about it. I should probably double check these things before I talk about it. At some point, it should be available online. I'll look into it. And then let's see. Jaja 9000 is Simplant also with drums. I mean, yeah, you could make drum sounds with it. I haven't tried. Is saying I'd leave the drum and bass type bass sound for the break, maybe. Which is the drum and bass type sound? Are you talking about the lower bass? This one? Play. Is that it? I think that's the only one I could think of that sounds sort of drum and bass style. And T-Air, what's up? T-Air is suggesting add some flanger on top. Are you talking about the Simplant lead? Because yeah, it's other than the reverb that's built in, it doesn't really have any other effects on it. That could be good. Which flanger should we use? Or phaser? Flanger. Let's just listen to this for an hour and go crazy. We'll use the Arturia. Offset the phase of this, maybe. Probably needs to be compressed. Like I said, this is raw. Nothing's mixed really yet. Something like that. Super spacey. Not too sleepy though. We can't let it can't let that ride too much. Cool. T-Air saying something like the Mootron. That's a phaser, right? Do I? I don't think I have one of those, do I? Yeah, oh, right. There's also an Arturia. They got the Bitron. Anyway, all sorts of trippy modulation effects may apply to this sound. I know there's something about putting more resonance on a very resonant sound I'm not sure about. I'm going to leave that off for now. And then, I don't know. I think I need to start giving this some shape, right? What are we going to start with? Sometimes that echo starts to bug me. I wonder if I need to revisit how much crazy delay I'm using on that kick drum. sounded tighter the other day. The other thing I was playing around with on this kick drum is this disperser, which kind of... I'm going to have to address this in the mix because I have no idea whether, like, this is doing a good thing or not. And it sounds... I played this in another room and it sounded totally different. There's definitely some weird resonance things and subby, phasey things going on with this. Those are sharp. I'm thinking, how do I want to start this? Do I want to start it with just drums? Oh, I forgot about that little noise that happens. Right, that's this thing. Or this one. That one, right? Has a longer release on one of them. I have to fix that sound. Maybe that's better. It's tighter. All right. Let's just put this in the arrangement view and start shaping it. I think that is, I think that's why I'm stuck. It needs shape. It needs structure. I like the groove, as weird as it is. Now I need to, like, build the track. Stop procrastinating and just start it. I'm going to start with just one clap. All right, let's see what happens if I put in the melody. The melody. Probably a little loud. Oh, the hi-hats have been going this whole time, but they were muted. We'll bring them in now. And I was actually thinking of how I should have brought the bass in right there. Oh, wrong one. All right, I'm already screwing this up. You all know it's hard to, like, make good music while you're talking to a chat, right? Like, it's dividing your attention. We'll get there. Too loud. Delete that automation. Any thoughts? I'm having second thoughts about this track. It's weird. Nice to see you, Angel. We'll see you another time. All right. Oh, and Aaron Hedges, thanks for helping Ryan out with his questions. I don't know. I'm just trying to... I think I said this a couple weeks ago or on a past recent stream that I was trying to make some tracks that weren't overly done, like not too many, like more raw and stripped down. And this is part of that. Like I want this to be kind of underground and weird, but also like, you know, good, hopefully. And, you know, it's definitely got the weird raw thing going on. And I don't want to over polish it. I want to kind of give it the vibe, you know, let it have the vibe and not like, let's let it be what it is and finish it. Right. So, but I'm also like my internal, like, I don't know, editor is like, no, don't do that. Do something else. Change it. And I'm fighting myself. I'm like literally, I'm in front of you guys listening to this going, I like it. I don't like it. I like it. I don't like it in my head. So just full disclosure. This is why I'm getting stuck. I put this on the PA system earlier in our event space downstairs. I was even toying with the idea of like live streaming from that room because it's like, you know, showing off our space and everything. But here I am again up in the content studio. Anyway, it sounded really good in there, actually. I was vibing on it in that room over the PA with the subwoofer. And in here, I'm like, it sounds not quite right. So I'm really got to like not overthink this. And, you know, hopefully you guys are with me. All right, let me listen to this again. I might like stop talking for a minute and just like make some decisions. I don't know, maybe. All right. You know what's bothering me the most? All right. First of all, I did make some decisions there. I'm going to start just with the drums and have it be really simple. And, you know, I need to think about maybe improving this sound a little bit. Because sometimes I liked it and sometimes I didn't. And it had to do with this modulation on the noisy, grainy stuff. That stuff. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's just too loud. But I like it when there's more variation. We can also play around with the release, make it more ringy sometimes. So yeah, the sounds need to move a little bit more so they're not too static. Stuff like that. It's so dynamic when you do that. Okay. Echoes. Trainwreck. All right. All right, so there's that. Like making sure that sound is moving and changing. I like the idea of having it spread out more. It's not repeating as often. And I might even do some melodic variation to it later. Maybe I do it even less. Leave the room. And I need to remember this as well. Playing with that. See what happens if we jump up to the high one here. Too much. Too much. Okay, something happened there in the arrangement where the bass came in. And then the main lead went away. Well, it did it one more time. Right. Something happened. I was worried about this. Remember I said when I reloaded the track, like I was a little worried it was going to sound exactly the same when I loaded it again. I think it's just very slightly different. I mean, it looks the same. It's just that little ink blot, right? Like it's where I started, but it doesn't sound as tight as I remember it sounding. Maybe we just live with that because it's flappy and funky and dirty. And I also really like how it sounds. And I know someone earlier thought put the drum and bass sort of bass sound coming in later, but I think it actually might be cool because it sounds really nice and warm when you play them together. I like that. That's all, by the way, like that's sine waves going into, it's like dark FM sort of sine waves going into distortion. I think they sound really good. They sound better together than they do separately. So maybe they just need to live together. And then there's also this, which is like makes it apocalyptic sounding. All right, let's see now if I bring those in together, if that works. Yeah, that's bigger. It's right down to business. Right, and I also have that other snare drum stuff coming in, right? Maybe later. It's really sharp. This whole track is sharp. Sounds good without this on there too. What happens if I lose that? Interesting. I also have this thing. That sample, that breath, that loud breath. That could come in here. Not there, though. Right before the bass comes in. Yeah. Sometimes all you need to do is take something away. All right, this is probably going to be too much. Actually, surprise cool thing happened with the other drums dropping out. All right, I'll go with that. And then that's going to sound a lot better short. Lose the hi-hat for once. Okay, so, you know, this is like maybe. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm feeling something happening here. I'm a little bit happier. I knew it. I knew if I started working on the structure, it would give me some ideas. I see you, Metaphase, the idea of dropping the beat out before bringing the bass in. I was thinking something like that. Like contrast, right? Now, part of the weirdness of this track is not just that the sounds are weird, but the timing of where the phrase starts is not the downbeat. And I thought I did it by accident. Like you'll notice that the bass starts after the first beat. And then it sounds like, it makes it sound, because of the way the melody goes and the rhythm goes, it makes it sound like the third beat should be the downbeat of the phrase. Right? But I kind of honestly left it that way on purpose to make it seem like it shifts a beat sometimes. Like I wanted to add to the weirdness, and I did. Right, so anyway, Metaphase was saying drop the beat out or something. So maybe like lose the kick drum a bit. Drop out a clap or something. Right, I didn't take out everything, but I took the kick out earlier. There's also all that echo going on. Maybe I should just shut that off. Like if I do an automation. All right, just to keep it simple for now. We'll see. Normally I don't usually just like turn the volume off on the whole track, but whatever, it's just there. Another thing I could do for variation there is change the hi-hat pattern, because it's been the same the whole time. Which one is the hi-hat? I'm already losing my mind. I think that's it. Yep. Yeah, so subtle change in the hi-hats. Getting caught up in the details when I should be doing big moves now. That's another thing. When you're arranging, it's usually better to get your, I think, better to like get your rough structure down first, so you're not just like, it's just faster, right? Like get like 5 minutes of the rough arrangement down and then go back and do all the details. But here I'm getting stuck in the details. I mean, you kind of get the point. It's a little weird because of where the phrase is sort of offset by 2 quarter notes. Not bad. Something like that. Right, so that's what I'm going to do next, is like we have this little break there. I'm confused about how long these phrases are. And, go figure, because like I said, the bass line groove is off on purpose. All right, that's 16 bars right there. Makes sense. We'll change the hi-hat again, see what happens. Okay. That's kind of interesting to go down there. Whoa. I don't know what to do with this. On that note, let's pause again. What do you, I haven't been talking to you guys. I mean, I've been sort of talking to you guys, but I haven't been keeping track of what the chat is going on with here. I see some good suggestions from Jaja9000 about sort of the timing of the bass and where things drop in and out before and after. Metaphase, thank you. Glad you think it sounded good. Hey, Christian Saxo, welcome. Some more reverb on the clap? Yeah, no, there's some like effects and mixing things, and I'm still gonna get to. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this mostly raw, like not too polished in the beginning, so it maintains its original vibe, whatever that is. But I will, I will mix. I will add reverbs. I will do that stuff. And yeah, Cyber Cowboy, hey, what's up? Like the art part, the fast thing, like the timing of when that comes in and out is something I'm still kind of on the fence about. So yeah, but thanks for saying it sounds sick. I agree. It is pretty sick sounding, especially that bass. It's like, blah. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it there. It's been about an hour. And I made some progress, and you guys went along for the ride, and I appreciate that. Thanks very much. We're going to wrap it up for today, and, I'll come back to it. So thanks again, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Adios.
let you shut it down. You can't stop the Zoid. 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 You know that the Zoid has what you need. And you know that the Zoid is built for speed. The Zoid gets freaky when you're around. And the Zoid won't let you shut it down. You can't stop the Zoid. 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 When the Zoid gets down, the one starts to flow. Millennium sound. It takes you to the zone. In the zone you're free to move through the stars. In the zone you see the Zoid never dies.